Hello, I'm Colleen Holder and this is Let's Talk Tobago. Today we're coming to you from one of the best kept secrets in Lowlands, the Secret Gardens Guest House. This holiday facility has been operational since early 2013 and features 6 well-appointed apartments in a setting so captivating that it makes you forget about the hustle and bustle of the busy world outside. We'll reveal some of the secrets you can find here at Secret Garden right after we tell you what's happening in our stories this week. Political parties present a definitive approach towards greater autonomy for Tobago. Tobago to get permanent curriculum officers to meet the needs of the changing school curriculum. And we give you details about a specially designed program that's for boys only. You're viewing Let's Talk Tobago. Thanks for staying with us at the Secret Garden Guest House in Lowlands. Relaxation is practically guaranteed here as you enjoy the cozy decor with warm, earthy tones and you lose yourself in comfortable rooms. However, relaxation is far from the minds of Tobago's political leaders who are pushing ahead in a unified attempt for more autonomy for Tobago. Way back in 1977, the late A.N.R. Robinson presented the matter of internal self-government for Tobago to Parliament, stating that the issue is on the national agenda, and that issue is still being debated today, nearly 40 years later. 2 of the 3 political parties continue to discuss a unified stance on greater autonomy for the island. They have focused a communication plan to engage the public over the next 2 months, and it involves Trinidadians. Omar Mills has the story.
As the political parties move forward with their goal of ensuring that Tobago receives greater autonomy over its own affairs, they have planned meetings with several interest groups, NGOs and community bodies on the island for the month of June. And after these small meetings, there'll be more general forums in July, one of which will be held in Trinidad.
4 conferences will be held and 1 convention. 3 of the first 3 conferences would be held in different parts of Tobago. The 4th conference would be held in Trinidad, and the ultimate convention would be held in Tobago on the last Sunday in July.
The head of the Secretariat explains why the public in Trinidad is being included on this Tobago matter.
People in Trinidad who would certainly have an interest in the outcome of this whole process would be involved.
The leader of the Tobago Platform of Truth, Hojoy Charles, says that everyone should get involved in the process of granting Tobago more autonomy over its own affairs.
This is not about any individual political party. It's not about any individual leader. It is about Tobago and Tobago achieving justice.
Neil Wilson, chairman of the Tobago Council for the People's National Movement, is satisfied with the plans made as the political parties move ahead with their public meetings.
I am very happy, and I feel convinced that at the end of the day, the objectives that he so succinctly indicated would be met. And I'm sure that all Tobagonians will be happy at the outcome.
At the end of July, a document on the discussions coming out of the meetings and the public forums will be presented to members of the Senate and Parliament. It is hoped that a bill will be presented in Parliament on the issue of internal self-governance for Tobago by September of this year. I'm Omar Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
No one doubts that a proper education helps us advance ourselves and our society. And in Trinidad and Tobago, there are continuous efforts to ensure that our children are getting the education they need in the most effective manner. In the latest update to the school curriculum, the focus is on the integration of subject areas based on a particular theme and the connections the lessons have to real life. The idea is to give the children a more meaningful learning experience. But with the changes in the curriculum comes an even greater need for Tobago to get permanent curriculum officers. Here's why their role is important to the school system.
Brandon Roberts is a Standard 4 teacher at the Scarborough Methodist Primary School. He's been teaching since 2006, but after close to 7 years on the job, it's still a challenge mentoring students so they can all succeed at the same time. It's even more so with the introduction of the new primary school curriculum, which changes his style of teaching. So he's happy to hear Tobago will soon get its own curriculum officers to help teachers navigate.
There are several new things being brought on stream, and some teachers are not quite sure because everyone is entitled to their own interpretation when left to it. So the curriculum officers would aid us greatly in ensuring that what they intend for us to do, that we carry it out in that manner.
The Division of Education, Youth Affairs and Sport is working with the Ministry of Education to get 16 curriculum officers on the island. The Assistant Education Coordinator for School Supervision, Dr. Verlene Bob Lewis, explains how they will function in the school's system.
We identify a school that may not be performing at the level, or schools I should say, may not be performing at the level that they should be performing. We'll be able to send those officers into the schools. Now that is outside of what school supervision could do or should do. So they will go to see all the subject areas, to see what is done, and provide technical support for the teachers and the principals.
But the teachers aren't the only ones who will benefit from the work of the curriculum officers. The final outcome is to make the learning environment a more holistic one so that every child can understand the subject material and succeed.
They can help you in having lesson plans that could cater for your entire classroom, because as you know, we might make a lesson plan and carry out a lesson that some students might not be up to that level, it might be even keeping back some of the students. So with guidance or with the curriculum officers, they can help you in breaking down your lessons to suit the needs of your class.
Currently, the curriculum for primary schools is being rewritten and has already been distributed to the schools in its draft format. In the meantime, the secondary school's curriculum is still under review. I'm Omadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
And while all parents want their children to succeed at school, wanting isn't always enough. According to some educators, girls perform better than boys academically, especially at the Secondary Entrance Assessment Examination or SEA. Educators are exploring the reasons for this and looking for solutions to help the boys perform better. Let's hear about a program that's seeking to make a difference to the social and academic lives of our island's boys.
It's an all-male environment. That's the format of the 4 Boys Only program, an initiative which started in 2012. Boys from Standard 3 to 5 are mentored by male teachers, and this may be a factor affecting the performance of many primary school boys, since many of the island's schools have a large percentage of female teachers.
Something is lacking now. In some homes, they are the father figure that may not be performing the roles that they should be performing. We say that may be responsible. In the schools, we have some schools, all female teachers. And we have female teachers who really teach. But for some of these boys, they need that male role model in their lives.
The program is run by the Division of Education, Youth Affairs and Sport during the July-August vacation. It has seen success, but only in the short term, since the boys' progress stops when the program ends. So, the division is seeking to maintain the boys' performance levels by having both male and female teachers learn how to effectively teach boys in the classrooms during the academic year.
We have consulted with a consultant from the University of the West Indies who is putting together a program for us to help our teachers to deal with the male problems that we're seeing in the school.
The program is held at 2 locations on the island and will resume this year during the July-August vacation. I'm Omadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
We're taking a break, but do stay with us for details about our environmental defenders. Welcome back. You're viewing Let's Talk Tobago, and we're here in Lowlands at the Secret Garden Guest House. As well as creating a beautiful interior, a lot of effort went into the garden. From the coral stone footpaths to the plants, which include ferns and palms, all were specially selected and arranged to convey a cooling tropical appeal. And just as enticing is the swimming pool with its elevated wall, which makes lounging in this garden all the more enchanting. While on the subject of impressions, let's tell you about the capabilities of a few of our senior citizens. A Harvard study published in 2007 by the American Journal of Public Health found that effective socialization can delay memory loss as seniors age. Physical activity is also important to their health. Many health organizations in Tobago understand this, and this is one of the reasons why they are continuously implementing activities for the elderly. This time it's being carried out by the drama tutors, but it's not only about the theatre arts. Davia Chambers has details.
That's a real and a jig performance by young people. But these seniors can dance too. And they're now getting the opportunity to dance, drum, sing and partake in regular exercises in the Arts for the Aging program, an initiative of the Division of Community Development and Culture, at their home, the St. Vincent de Paul Society's Home for the Aged.
We have where our family members would have made that most difficult decision to put them here. But here becomes like a home away from home. But we don't want our elders to be forgotten. We want them to enjoy a value, a sense of life, even though they're not residing in their own homes.
The division doesn't want the elderly to just sit all day and be bored. They want to reignite the spark in these senior citizens and promote socialization and integration through the cultural art forms.
Close the crop. So they first give them a short story of the long time days that we had. It was good.
Oh Lord, looking nice. Good.
What did they
look like?
So I'm happy because I like the program. So I'm happy to hear that the program was here a long time.
Yes. You get things to do and to study.
The president of the St. Vincent de Paul Society says this program will help the home to continue serving the needs of our aging population.
This initiative is very important to us. Partnering with the different divisions of the Tobago House of Assembly, it's important to us. Because as I said, we are not for-profit organization.
The AFTA program will continue at the St. Vincent de Paul Society's Home for the Aged in Mason Hall for 3 months and then be evaluated before expanding to other homes. I'm Davia Chambers for Let's Talk Tobago.
Did you know that there are an estimated 75 million different chemical compounds in the world? And although some are not dangerous, you should know that many we interact with can be dangerous to our safety and well-being. Whether you work in agriculture, industrial plants, beauty salons, or even in offices, all employers and employees should take the necessary measures to safeguard everyone's health. And every year, the agencies responsible for the nation's health and safety spread the word about this aspect of workplace management.
Under the OSH Act, there are 2 types of offenses. Name them.
Safety and health offenses and summary offenses.
That is correct.
Knowledge on the issue of occupational safety and health helped the Division of Finance and Enterprise Development gain first place in this year's Health and Safety Quiz. It's one of the activities that took place in Tobago to raise awareness and celebrate this year's World Day for Safety and Health in the Workplace. Another is a formal ceremony which focused on the theme Safety and Health in the Use of Chemicals at Work, a topic which is dealt with in Trinidad and Tobago's OSH Act.
Employers ensure that hazardous chemicals are not used, handled, stored, transported or disposed of in manners that may compromise safety and health of their employees and others who may be affected by these chemicals.
Chemicals such as diesel engine exhaust, pesticides, and even the burning of wood can cause cancer. So health and safety stakeholders are pushing for the enforcement of policies which reduce, substitute, or prevent the use of harmful chemicals in the workplace.
For instance, do have a policy which bans asbestos in Trinidad and Tobago. If there is a policy, that means such a policy have to be implemented. Do we have a policy to reduce exposure levels?
And through this exhibition, the public got an opportunity to learn why it's important to protect themselves from exposure to chemicals in their workplaces. The week-long activities were coordinated by the Tobago House of Assembly and the OSH Authority. I'm Keishon Wilson for Let's Talk Tobago.
International Mother Earth Day was celebrated this year on 22nd April, and it's now being celebrated on our island. Who better to celebrate it, though, than the ones who upkeep our environment? The Community-Based Environmental Protection and Enhancement Program, or CPEP's activities focus mainly on ensuring that the environment is clean, green, safe, and serene. Davia Chambers has the inside story on how our environmental defenders celebrated the special occasion.
These green spaces we pass by often are usually maintained. They're cleaned and beautified regularly and are also appealing to the eye, just as our roads and our environment at large by the many CPEP gangs around the island. And so they're celebrating the Earth in their CPEP Week 2014 for the first time in 12 years. Earth Day focuses on green cities and mobilizing people to create a sustainable, healthy environment, and CPEP is doing the same. They made the public aware of this with the start of activities and awareness march through Scarborough.
If we look at Tobago today, the mantra, clean, green, safe, and serene, I would say it's because of you.
Mr. Seeley says the workers are rarely publicly recognized, and so one of the purposes of the week of celebrations is to change that.
People do not recognize it. Sometimes you're not even mentioned. But we know, those of ICC will see, and those who have ears to hear will hear. And I'm saying it today, that your contribution is second again to none. It is you who get rid of all the white waste, the old fridges and the stoves and the bed springs and the mattresses that people throw out on the side of the road.
So they celebrated all week.
Wednesday, we have cricket finals, and we also intend to have an all-fours competition right there at Codler Hall. We have also on Thursday a tree planting exercise. We have already secured the trees, the plants, and we will be doing that throughout the island. And on Friday, we celebrate our families, the big day, Friday. We do this at the Buku facility.
CPEP plans to continue to empower communities to improve the condition of the local environment. The CPEP Company Limited was incorporated and activated in 2008 under the Division of Health and Social Services. I'm Davia Chambers for Let's Talk Tobago.
We're taking a break, but do stay with us for details about a program designed to develop the skills of future Dwight Yorks. This is Let's Talk Tobago. Thanks for staying with us here in Lowlands at the Secret Garden Guest House. Maybe you're an artist looking for a muse or a photographer with an eye for nature. This place can be your inspiration, whether you're on the upstairs patio overlooking the pool and the garden's lush greenery, or on the ground floor in the midst of the stunning architecture. There's always something to catch your eye and as well maybe even inspire you. And speaking of which, we all get inspiration from the events around us, and sport is no different. So when officials of the St. Clair Coaching School went to a regional under-10 tournament in Barbados some years ago, they came back with the idea of holding similar competitions here so that local aspiring footballers could participate in and enhance their skills. Now the competition is in its third year, and in this story by Umadara Mills, you'll get an insight into the benefit it brings to the island's youths.
These under-10 footballers are sharpening their skills to one day represent their country on the international stage. But they have to start small, in an environment which is familiar to them while developing their skills against other competitive teams. And they're doing so in the St. Clair's Coaching School's Football Extravaganza, a two-day event which gives the children the opportunity to do more than just kick a ball around.
It gives them an opportunity to showcase whatever skill they may have, technical ability, tactical ability, enhance their playing ability, and also, which is important, help them to develop that social connectivity, make friends, talk to new people, develop them all around.
There's been an increase in the participating teams for 2014, with 6 teams taking part in the under-10 category, while 11 teams participated in the under-12 age group. Mr. Tom explains why the teams which are from Tobago as well as Trinidad are selected for the tournament.
It was by invite only. The thing is, as I say, you're trying to get the Tobago kids involved in playing at a higher level, right? So you're trying to do as much to have them involved.
And in order for the young Tobago footballers to be on par with their competition from other places, there are plans to have more competitive events.
We're looking at actually probably doing a second tournament probably during the summertime. Keep the youths busy.
The tournament has been endorsed by the Division of Education, Youth Affairs and Sport. I'm Umadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
And while sporting activities such as netball and football are popular in Tobago, basketball, and especially the female version, has been on the decline for years. Now, only 3 female teams are participating in the Tobago Zonal League this year. But with a new commission for 2014, there's been the move to revive women's interest and participation in this sport.
From warming up to learning how to dribble and shoot, 14-year-old Jana Roberts is one of 8 female basketball players who came out for the female basketball trials to see if she could make it onto the national team and represent her country. But that's not her only reason.
Well, I tried out because I find it's a very good opportunity to continue trying and better the sports. I got involved in basketball because I find it's a fun sport and it also lets me relieve stress from school.
And those who are selected for the national team, they have the chance to travel for regional tournaments, an incentive which the Tobago Zonal Commission is using to attract more female players into the sport.
Caribbean Basketball Championship and the whole quest of having the national female basketball is sort of re-engineering that kind of interest in the sport, and we are seeing where our female players are showing a little more commitment.
The national women's basketball coach Larry Sandy says that even after the trials, there's continuity for those who did not make it but are still interested in the sport.
Besides the 2 kids that we saw, that's Alicia and Chanel, we saw that the other kids have some potential. And what we are trying to do is we're trying to send a coach out there every week so they can start working with this pool so they can wind the pool of women's basketball players in Tobago.
The THA's Department of Sport has been supporting the efforts of the Tobago Basketball Commission with prizes for the league games over the years, as well as the provision of basketball facilities where persons like these females can develop their skills. I'm Umadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
The local fashion industry continues to provide a forum for models and designers to show off their skills and to develop their brand. As you may know, Tobago has its own annual fashion weekend, and the time has come once again. For 3 days, models strutted the catwalk in designer pieces. This year, the theme is SPD Redefined, and Davia Chambers has the details.
They began with Kata Dash. Then there was a Dan Dan Fiesta. In the 3rd year, it was all about Kazakh, frock and suspenders. This year, Tobago Fashion Weekend wants to redefine the fashion scene.
The original team, SPD, had to be tweaked as it was a bit too edgy for many, but it forced us to take a look at our creative selves. Thus, SPD redefined. Stone P dressed redefined.
For this fashion weekend, the organizers of Tobago Fashion Weekend want the public to determine what their P stands for.
Some words and phrases we've heard from some of our partners include from David Rudder, stone properly dressed, stone professionally casual dressed. According to Destra, stone pow dressed.
And with these variations, this year's event has a new look and feel at Milford Road, Scarborough.
Fashion Weekend will not be held at its usual venue this year. Why? Because it is time to deviate from the norm. Time to shake things up and time to show that anything once again is possible.
On Friday, May 16th, resort wear took center stage at Tobago Fashion Weekend. Saturday and Sunday showcased modern fashion. Tobago Fashion Weekend is partly sponsored by the Tobago House of Assembly. I'm Davia Chambers for Let's Talk Tobago.
And it's time to have your say, the segment of our program where we hear from you, our viewers. After a tourism stakeholders meeting in April, the Ministry of National Security via the National Operations Center, the NOC, agreed to address safety and security concerns for Tobago. There were several agreements and a separate meeting to address these concerns, including site visits to look at existing issues and come up with solutions. Now, there are close to 200 CCTV cameras installed throughout Tobago, and it was proposed that these be fed into the NOC. A study will also evaluate whether additional cameras need to be added to the network. Now, to optimize national coverage, it was suggested that existing private surveillance systems be integrated into the national system. So today we're asking, how do you feel about the proposal to feed Tobago's 187 CCTV cameras into the National Operations Center as a way of enhancing national security on the island? This is what you said.
If it's for national security, I'm all good for it. I'm all for it.
I feel a little more secure about that. Knowing something could happen and the camera could pick it up and send it to the control center and it will be well monitored. But if they just hang up there and nobody monitor them, it come like nothing hang up there. And that will be a deterrent to serious crime because people will think about the camera before even doing something.
With the state of the country, I have no problem with that. Yeah? Because something needs to be done or something needs to quiet it down. So if a fellow know he can be on TV, I don't think he'll do the crime. No one can get caught up in.
I believe that they have a better plan in dealing with violence and things people won't pick up with their normal eye. I believe that that plan could find out a lot of things that's be happening in Scarborough and nobody don't know. So with these cameras being installed, that could help solve a lot of problems.
I think it wouldn't be economical to send this, to get this system here operating under Trinidad. It should be done here. I think it can be much more efficient.
And that's how we bring this week's edition of Let's Talk Tobago to a close. Remember, you can send us your comments or queries on anything you've seen in this program to information@tha.gov.tt or visit us at www.tha.gov.tt. Like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Colleen Holder, and on behalf of all of us at the Department of Information, have a safe and enjoyable week. And as we go, we leave you now with a final look at the Secret Garden Guest House.